teacher, Mr. Wilson, he had a big cock, and he liked me to stroke it here in class.
Yeah, dear diary, I dropped the soap in the shower today.
In the boys' locker, and then all the boys then took their turns on me. They gave me a little rub and tug.
Yeah, is it true that the best rub and tug in St. Peter's is Golden Palace?
That's what I hear.
Sweet.
Or your house.
Oh.
Ah!
Oh, hey.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Ooh, excuse me. Okay, so we this is the preview episode. I know this took us 30 minutes to get into, but
Right.
what we've all got new stuff coming up, and I know you got new stuff coming up. I've got wrestling events and comedy events. John's got a huge comedy event coming up where he will meet.
Spirit Maid is coming back this week.
This week. Are you going to do it with the same
week.
guy?
Yeah, Nick and I are
Right, tell Nick
back
he needs
together
to-
again to do that.
He needs to. Ooh, yeah, bring it up there.
Oh yeah. And yeah, I put a little pizzazz on him. Maybe I'll put a shock collar on him, and whenever he gets dull, I'll just zap him.
He was a little chill. I don't want to say he was dull because he wasn't dull. He was trying to do the best he could do, but he definitely was a little too chill for a very scary show. I need some. Ooh, get a little.
Exactly.
Yeah, I need a little of that. But I'm stoked. That show was actually kind of cool.
It was cool. We're still trying to find our niche with that one. You know, Nick's still trying to play around with that. And
Would you like to talk to some
eventually
ghost
we'll
hunters?
We'll get it.
Because one of the referees that does for LPW, Legendary Pro Wrestling, by the way, I am involved in Legendary Pro Wrestling, run by the great Typhoon Shockmaster, a.k.a. A Tugboat. He is he's a WWE legend, or WWF legend, and he's a great dude. Fred Ottman. Chuck, this guy Chuck, he's one of the referees in the thing. He's a paranormal ghost hunter.
No kidding.
Yeah, so I think that'd be kind of cool if you ever want to talk to him and talk about different stuff and maybe.
Hang on,
yeah.
what about? Hey, do you want to listen to? There's a guy on Lutopia. I don't know if you've ever seen or heard of the podcast. The guy that's sitting next to Lou, who's on Facebook, is a name called Mike. The point I'm getting to is he goes out into the woods to speak to UFOs.
Really?
Oh, that's
Yes,
right.
sir.
That's right. That's
And do you know what? Can I just say now?
Lou's co-host.
If anyone does have him on interviewing or anything like that, he is the nicest guy you would ever want to meet in your entire life. He's amazing,
John,
and he's a mountain of a man. He's got to be 6'4", 6'5", and he's twice as wide. But an absolute,
wow,
absolute
that's lovely of you to say.
gentle giant. Well, lovely man.
John's like,
Just
oh,
in
he's
case,
such a
he
nice
wants to get
guy,
him on
but a
the show and
huge
take the piss out of him.
bastard.
What?
Yeah, Lutopia. Make sure you check out Lutopia. What network is he on? Is he on a certain network?
The Lutopia network.
Well, to keep up, John. Yeah, we try to give.
No, look, all right. Try Lutopia.com or type Lutopia into Facebook or whatnot. Up it'll come and yeah.
I'm typing it in right now. Lutopia, the podcast.
I tell you what, let's all
Hey,
type in. Let's all look at my Miguel Hito. Let's all type that in and let's have a look at the front of that. Let's have a look at that little web page there on Miguel Hito's site and let's see if we've got any interest on Miguel Hito's Facebook page. That's more interesting, isn't it? Oh, hello. What's this?
So, Lutopia, the podcast, it's run by Lou Angelwolf. He's a really nice guy, great comedian. Lutopia.com, Loutopia.com. Check that out. His co-host talks to aliens in the woods.
Yeah, KISSING. Yeah.
ALIENS in the woods. Woo, 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 woo. So Spirit Maid is coming back. That's going to be cool. Tell them what the show's about.
Shows basically we will pick a topic, anything that has to do with cryptozoology or paranormal or aliens or something. This week's topic is actually going to be on the Antichrist.
Ooh,
Oh, shitballs. Let's go deep.
Oh,
So
we're
you're going real political this week.
Yeah. But it's full of a lot of interesting stuff that probably a lot of people never heard of. But it's
Hey,
gonna be
I've
cool.
got one to throw into the ring.
What's that?
Well, imagine back in the day, imagine say 1939 onwards.
Back in John's day. Yeah, John, go ahead.
must have thought that Hitler was actually the second, the Antichrist.
Yep, they say Napoleon Bonaparte was the first and Hitler was the second. Good job, John.
I'm sure there was more than that before that, dude.
No, they say there's only 3, and we're waiting on the third one.
Oh! You're talking about the in the theory.
Right. Yeah, it was all set by Nostradamus.
Do you remember Negrodamus on the Dave Chappelle show?
No.
That was when Paul Mooney came on and he was like,
oh yeah.
Oh my God! Sorry, a little offshoot there, Negrodamus. Oh gosh! All right.
That's pretty good, John. Where did you hear that about Hitler?
I always used to say that. I always used to say because I grew up in sort of a church, Sunday school and all that, and youth club.
Oh, I'm
and
so sorry.
Yeah, right. Youth club and all that sort of business. And now as I've got older, I think to myself what they believe in and what about the Antichrist and Christ and so on and so forth and being saved. But this guy's going to come. The devil, or the devil's spawn, or the devil, whatever.
John Wilson.
I thought that they must have thought that was fucking Hitler. They must have thought that was Hitler on his fucking marching on his way. And I know you read a lot of documents and stuff like that. There was a lot of prayer, united prayer, which I think is an absolute wonderful thing. A lot of united prayer in the United Kingdom back in the day, and the king asked for it.
United.
And it was, because obviously it was quite a, I would say, predominantly Protestant religion with a mix. The Catholics may argue that they were the bigger minority, majority, whatever.
I'm a Protestant. I'll wear a rubber device on my cock if I want to.
So it's interesting, and then that link in with that prayer. But look, check that out, though, because that might, it might be it's just
John,
another bounce off the whole thing.
Show. Maybe you should come on.
I'll tell you, why don't you talk over me, Mike, while I'm talking?
It's better than you just stand there sometimes.
I don't think Mickey knows how this works.
Yeah.
Oh,
dear God.
That's why I had troubles elsewhere before.
Anyway, Google that shit. King George.
Oh yeah, well.
Now, speaking of King George, why don't you
The fifth.
you talking about King George, the one that they worship on that one island and way out in the South Pacific?
No idea what you're talking
King
about.
George is Queen Elizabeth's husband, right?
Queen Elizabeth, no. Queen Elizabeth is King George was her father.
Oh, King George was his father. Who's Queen Elizabeth's? Who's Queen Elizabeth's husband?
That's the Greek fella, Philip, Prince Philip.
Prince Philip. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, they there's this cult on Vanuatu that worships him, and they got pictures of him and stuff all over the their area of the island.
Yeah, I did hear that.
It's very bizarre, very bizarre. Well, that's cool. I think that's going to be an interesting show. I think you should have John on. It seems like he knows a little bit about the Hitler being part of the Antichrist. That'd be kind of cool. John, what do you say?
Yeah, no, definitely.
I'm inviting you on.
Yeah, I'd be up for that, depending on your timings, of course.
I'm inviting you on Ant's show.
Yeah, look at that. No, I used to. I never. You hear of things, don't you, when you're a kid and stuff like that? And I've heard of people doing the Ouija board when they were kids, and that was pretty rough going. Some of the stories they used to say.
I was always scared about that stuff.
Yeah, I never did anything like that, but I heard of other kids doing it. And when I say other kids, I'm talking about maybe 14 or 15, something like that. And people going to see doing a seance and all that fucking scary bullshit.
I tell you, back in the 30s. Sorry, go ahead.
The weird part is Nick is all part of that stuff. Like, he's played with the Ouija boards, he's done the seance, he's done the ghost hunting and everything like that. You would think he'd have more inflection in his voice when he talks about those kind of things.
What are you talking about?
Because it's something that he's really into.
Did you hear one of the stories of the famous... I don't know whether it was... It might have been this... Yeah, it was here. Peter Sellers, right? Peter Sellers used to consult that type of person, someone who could sort of see things into the future or read the stars.
You talk about RoboCop?
That sort of thing. Sorry?
You talk about RoboCop?
No, Peter Sellers. Peter Sellers, a very, very famous comedian and actor who was in the Pink Panther, for fuck's sake.
Oh, that's right.
RoboCop.
What was RoboCop?
Right.
Wait, hold on. What was RoboCop's name? What was the guy from RoboCop's name?
Peter
Weller.
Almighty.
Peter Weller. I'm sorry, Peter Weller. I'm sorry. My bad.
Right, okay. So,
he's a big history buff, by the way.
Peter Sellers used to confide in that type of person, right? It's well documented. It's a story, a true story. And so one of his friends, one of his director friends, when if he was going to choose to be chosen for a film, he'd consult his guru or whoever, you know what I mean? And if it felt good, they said, yes, go ahead, to go with it. So what this director...
will be a major flop.
Exactly.
I said,
so this director
guru.
used to ring this guru, therapist, whatever they were called, bribe them to tell him to take the film.
Oh, nice.
Dude, that guy's awesome. Pink Panther is some of the best movies out there. I love those movies.
Peter Sellers. What a legend.
I want an uru, though.
Ooh. What?
What's an uru?
Yeah, when it's like a guru, but they give you handies.
Wow.
And then you're like, ooh, that's good stuff. I like it. That's gonna be
speaking of Guru, did you guys ever watch the movie Love Guru?
Yes.
Guru. TM.
The greatest thing was that More Than Words. Remember the More Than Words from? Oh, they did it on the sitar. Do you remember that part?
Oh yeah.
I never seen it.
You never seen it? Oh, definitely one of my favorite Mike Myers movies for sure.
It was hilarious, dude.
The same guy does Austin Powers movies and the Wayne's World movies. That's who did Love Guru.
Right. Something else I need to put on my list.
Mm-hmm.
It was really, really funny. The movie itself is not... Realistically, the movie itself is not good. But that part was funny. That part was really funny. You want to hear it?
Yeah, it had its moments.
You want to hear it, John?
Yeah, do you know what what was that, you saying about that film and a funny moment? Let's hear your funny moment and I'll tell you my favourite funny moments in a film that was shit.
I just told you when they sang More Than Words with a sitar.
Right. That was quite funny, that moment. How about, had I seen the film? I could play that. Do you want me to do that? I could have done that for you. Let me do it.
Saying I love you is not the words I want to hear from you. It's not that I want to.
I could have done it.
Oh, you want me to keep going? All right, ready, Ant? It's not that I want you.
Saying I love you is more than words. That's all I know.
Hey.
Well done, boys. Well done.
If I would have pulled up the lyrics, I would
have. The Love Guru. That was rough. That movie was bad, but it was
Right. That was another thing I was saying as well. Of course, I did discuss it with Mike this afternoon, and I think between me, you.
Hey, we're not done with a certain segment yet.
Sorry.
We didn't have Ant tell us all the good stuff that's coming up in his world.
I know, yeah, but we'll get to that in a minute. Right, but what about this, right?
Yeah.
That moving shows forwards each week, or we build up to it, whereas we have rap battles. What do you think of that?
I don't think it's a good idea, dude.
I think it's a great idea.
because Miggy remembers a night that I tried to freestyle on his show,
God,
and that was a disaster.
That was, oh my.
So we should definitely do that. Anyway,
I think. Hold on a second. I think we
Lance.
should write some stuff and perform it.
That I
No.
Have
All
you
right,
ever?
yeah,
all right,
okay,
I remember
okay.
in the car, all you could come up with was the N-word.
Look, right, listen, right? If it's in the song, you're singing along. What are you going to do? You're going to not sing it anyway. It doesn't matter. That's another story for another day. I can. Let's do one where you write a bit about the other person. So obviously we know it's a rap battle. It's going to be a burn. Let's do that. How about that for each of each other?
I'm fully into that.
So, Ant, you could write one for me and Mike. I'll write one for you and Mike. and Michael write one about me and you. How about
That'll
that?
work.
That's it. That's going to be a full show now.
Hey, this is John